Vedder was born Edward Louis Severson III on December 1964 in Evanston, Illinois, to Karen Lee Vedder and Edward Louis Severson Jr. His parents divorced in 1965 when Vedder was an infant. His mother soon remarried to a man named Peter Mueller. Vedder was raised believing that Mueller was his biological father, and he went by the name Edward Mueller for a time. Vedder's ancestry includes Dutch German and Danish on his mother's side and Norwegian on his father's side. While living in Evanston, Vedder's family fostered 7 younger children in a group home. In the mid-1970s, the family, including Vedder's 3 younger half-brothers, moved to San Diego County, California. Vedder received a guitar from his mother on his 12th birthday and began turning to music and surfing as a source of comfort. He especially found solace in The Who's 1973 album Quadrophenia. His mother and Mueller divorced when Vedder was in his late teens. His mother and brothers moved back to the Chicago area, but Vedder remained with his stepfather in California so he did not have to change schools. After the divorce, Vedder learned the truth about his parentage and that Mueller was really his stepfather, not his father. Vedder met his biological father briefly as a child, but was led to believe that Severson was merely an old friend of his parents. By the time Vedder learned the truth, Severson had died of multiple sclerosis. During his senior year at San Diego High School, Vedder moved out to live in an apartment, supported himself with a nightly job at a drugstore in Encinitas. Because of the pressure of work and school, Vedder dropped out of high school. He joined the rest of his family in the Chicago area, and changed his last name to Vedder, his mother's maiden name, in 1984. Vedder returned to San Diego with his girlfriend Beth Liebeling and his friend Frank. While living in the San Diego area, Vedder recorded demo tapes at his home and worked various jobs, including as a contracted security guard at the La Valencia Hotel in La Jolla. Vedder had several stints in San Diego area bands, including Surf and Destroy and the Butts. One of those bands, called Indian Style, included future Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave drummer Brad Wilk. In 1988, Vedder became the vocalist for Bad Radio, a San Diego-based progressive funk rock band. The band's original incarnation was influenced by Duran Duran. However, after Vedder joined, the band moved to a more alternative rock sound influenced in part by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. In the 1980s, Vedder worked part-time as a night attendant at a local gas station. Through the Southern California music scene, Vedder met former Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Jack Irons, who became a friend and would play basketball with him. Later in 1990, Irons gave him the demo tape of a Seattle band looking for a singer. Vedder listened to the tape shortly before going surfing, where lyrics came to him. He wrote lyrics for 3 of the songs in what he later described as a mini-opera entitled Mama Son. The songs tell the story of a young man who, like Vedder, learns that he had been lied to about his paternity and that his real father is dead, grows up to become a serial killer, and is eventually imprisoned and sentenced to death. Vedder recorded vocals for the 3 songs and mailed the demo tape back to Seattle. The 3 songs would later become Pearl Jam's Alive, Once and Footsteps. After hearing Vedder's tape, former Mother Love Bone members Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament invited Vedder to come to Seattle to audition for their new band. They were instantly impressed with his unique sound. At the time, Gossard and Ament were working on the Temple of the Dog project, founded by Soundgarden's Chris Cornell as a musical tribute to Mother Love Bone's frontman Andrew Wood, who died of a heroin overdose at age 24. Soundgarden drummer Matt Cameron and newcomer Mike McCready were also a part of the project. The song Hunger Strike became a duet between Cornell and Vedder. Cornell later said that Vedder sang half of that song not even knowing that I'd wanted the part to be there, and he sang it exactly the way I was thinking about doing it, just instinctively. Pearl Jam, initially called Mookie Blaylock after the former National Basketball Association player of the same name, was formed in 1990 by Jeff Ament, Stone Gossard and Mike McCready, who then recruited Vedder as lead singer but hired and fired 3 different drummers. The band was forced to change its name when they signed to Epic Records in 1991, becoming Pearl Jam, and instead naming their debut album 10 after Blaylock's jersey number. 10 became one of the best-selling alternative albums of the 1990s, being certified 13 platinum. The single Jeremy received Grammy Award nominations for Best Rock Song and Best Hard Rock Performance in 1993. Pearl Jam received 4 awards at the 1993 MTV Video Music Awards for its music video for Jeremy, including Video of the Year and Best Group Video. 10 ranks number 209 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time, and Jeremy was ranked number 11 on VH1's list of the 100 greatest songs of the 90s. Following an intense touring schedule, the band recorded its second studio album, Versus, which was released in 1993. Upon its release, Versus set the record at the time for most copies of an album sold in a week, and spent 5 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200. V's was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rock Album in 1995. The song Daughter received a Grammy nomination for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal, and the song Go received a Grammy nomination for Best Hard Rock Performance. Later that same year, the band released its third studio album, Vitalogy, which became the band's third straight album to reach multi-platinum status. On the album, Vedder was featured more extensively on rhythm guitar, and also provided backup vocals and some drumming. The pressure of fame is a common theme of Vedder's songs on the album. The album received Grammy nominations for Album of the Year and Best Rock Album in 1996. Vitalogy was ranked 485th on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. The lead single Spin the Black Circle won a Grammy Award in 1996 for Best Hard Rock Performance. Although Dave Abruzzese performed on the album Vitalogy, he was fired in August 1994, 4 months before the album was released. The band cited political differences between Abruzzese and the other members. For example, he disagreed with the Ticketmaster boycott. He was replaced by Jack Irons, a close friend of Vedder and the former and original drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The band subsequently released No Code in 1996 and Yield in 1998. In 1998, prior to Pearl Jam's US Yield 2, Irons left the band due to dissatisfaction with touring. Pearl Jam enlisted former Soundgarden drummer Matt Cameron as Irons' replacement on an initially temporary basis, but he soon became the permanent replacement for Irons. Do the Evolution received a Grammy nomination for Best Hard Rock Performance. In 1998, Pearl Jam recorded Last Kiss, a cover of a 1960s ballad made famous by J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. It was released on the band's 1998 Fan Club Christmas single. However, by popular demand, the cover was released to the public as a single in 1999. Last Kiss peaked at number 2 on the Billboard charts and became the band's highest-charting single. In 2000, the band released its 6th studio album Binaural and initiated a successful and ongoing series of official bootlegs. The band released 72 such live albums in 2000 and 2001, and set a record for most albums to debut in the Billboard 200 at the same time. Grievance received a Grammy nomination for Best Hard Rock Performance. The band released its 7th studio album Riot Act in 2002. Pearl Jam's contribution to the 2003 film Big Fish, titled Man of the Hour, was nominated for a Golden Globe Award in 2004. The band's 8th studio album, the eponymous Pearl Jam, was released in 2006. The band released its 9th studio album Backspacer in 2009, its 10th studio album Lightning Bolt in 2013, and its 11th studio album Gigaton in 2020.